didn't like Frozen?
Oh my god. Like, Star Wars was back in movies. What? MoviePass has done a dramatic change in its operation. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of CineWeek Topics. There's a report going out there that Disney is trying to move to acquire its own version of a streaming service. So like Netflix, Amazon, things like that. But it's going to keep all of the Disney brand content in one place for you to purchase at a streaming rate.
It's like Disneyland on your TV.
Exactly. So the question that we had in mind is this a worthwhile service? What's Netflix going to do? And would you pay for it? And how much you pay for your streaming services right now anyway? A lot to cover, a lot to talk about, because I know this is going to be a big thing for everyone. I know a lot of the internet, too, has been kind of like, well, if we're going to pay for this with our Prime, with our HBO Now, with our Netflix, you know, it's going to add up to a cable price each month. And while I can hear that complaint, it is still about, at the end of the day, user choice. But let's keep it simple. First off, what do we think of this? Let's start with you, Katy.
So, actually, Ransom and I had a conversation while I was on my lunch break yesterday about this to prepare. So, the Disney streaming service, yay, go ahead and do what you want. It's fine. Keep your movies in theaters, though, because that'll be dumb if you don't do that. However,
obviously, Disney's going to do that. They're not going to pull their stuff from the theaters.
And not just put them on a streaming service. But I don't think I'd get the Disney streaming service, only because I already own all the movies.
That's a very good
Disney
point.
is a collectible type of thing. We already own a bunch of Disney movies, and if I like a new movie that's going to come out, Moana, whatever it may be, the newer ones, I'll go out and buy it from my collection that I already have going since I was a young child with Cinderella and Snow White, things of that nature. I already have it all. Why would I put another streaming service on my already growing list of bills when I already have it? Granted, I am guilty. If Netflix has something on, you know, the streaming service while I'm laying in bed that I own, yeah, I'll press X and on my PlayStation and I'll watch it because I'm too damn lazy to get up. However, I'm not going to pay money specifically for a streaming service when I already own everything I want from that company.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. The only, slight thing I could say towards that is, you mentioned since you were very young, and when we were very young, VHS was the popular
However, they are
video.
coming out with the DVD and Blu-ray special versions, which, if you are a collector, you're going to buy.
That's
exactly
fine, but
the
each
same point
DVD is more expensive than a monthly payment of what this would be.
But how many do they come out with a year?
One.
So
I guess what I think you're trying to say here too is you've got all of these videos already because most of us have been avid collectors of Disney already.
Yes, and you are right. They do come out with one a year. But if you're going to pay, let's say, $11.99, because that's what Netflix and Hulu are running right now a month, you're going to pay $27 to $35 for a Blu-ray once per year. That's still not going to add up to a year worth of streaming.
Depending on how many
you already own the other ones that you like. You don't necessarily have to go out and buy the ones that you don't enjoy. Like, I didn't like Frozen. I'm not going to actively go out there and buy it.
Yeah, it depends on your train of thought, for sure.
You didn't like Frozen?
I know.
Do you mean, like, you liked it, but then it was talked about too much, so now you just didn't like it?
I mean, okay. Here's my thing with Frozen.
I don't want to hear your thing with Frozen.
Here's my thing with Frozen. It wasn't horrifying. When people started saying it was better than Lion King, I was like, back off.
Obviously not.
Yes. And my point with Frozen is, it's not even just Frozen. There are some Disney movies that, you know, I'm like, alright, cool. But I wouldn't, I'll watch it because it's Disney. I'm not going to go buy it. And then, so why would I want the streaming service for other movies that I already have owned?
So, for the counter argument, as I'm sure Casey has already started, the avid Disney fan,
I'm already
the Lion
budgeting.
King extraordinaire.
I'm already budgeting for it. Because, yeah, I have a lot of movies on DVD and Blu-ray, and I have a lot of movies on VHS. I can't fucking watch Bambi. I don't have it. Well, I have a VHS player. I don't know where the remote is. I don't know if it works. Those are collectibles.
Technology.
If I do want to sell those, then I want to play them less. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I need them to be in good condition. With the DVDs and Blu-rays, Blu-ray discs can scratch. Sometimes I am too lazy to go pick it up. If I am in the mood to watch Frozen... I don't have to go find the DVD. I can just be like, la da 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 da, Disney streaming service, click, yes, here we go, let it go.
Whoa.
Oh god,
I'm
that
all-
was a
I just
segue.
want to point out Ransom's face. He's over this already. No, I get where you're coming from. I'm totally like, yes, the classics. But have they promised us the classics yet?
I don't know. That's a good point. It depends on how wide their variety is.
So let's say this. Obviously you want it. And, if they were to put the classics on there, yes, I would think about it because some of those, Oliver and Company, Fox and Hunt. And by the way, the reason I'm looking kind of to the left of the camera is because there's a bunch of
the
VHSs
VHSs
behind
right there.
that.
In the background.
So, Dumbo, things that aren't on Netflix now, that might not be on the Disney streaming service, classics, Cinderella, things that aren't, that I don't, that maybe not, they're on DVD, we haven't gotten them yet, classics that haven't come out, because really, you're right, who, A, does own a VHS, or B, has the remote to it, to make it work. However, I'm just saying, if the classics aren't on there, I don't see a reason.
If it's like mostly Disney Channel stuff,
Blech.
no way.
It sounds like it's depending on how much of a diehard fan you are. Ransom, where are you on this?
Because you're kind of middle, right?
Yeah, in the middle.
Yeah.
Nah.
My opinion is that it really depends on who they're selling it to. It's definitely great for people that have really young kids that are just getting into all of these movies. It'd definitely be good for them because that way they'd have a range of things that they can just, select, no biggie.
Yeah, super accessible.
Yeah.
And they don't have to
But-
worry about what's going to be on it.
Yeah, but then there's also the other half of people that I don't think this is going to be that great for people that are, just movie watchers. I don't think they'll go out and pay for this monthly. And then I also don't think that like Disney fans, I mean, Casey, sure, but
Whoa!
I don't think like every Disney fan is going to go out and get this monthly because if they're really big Disney fans, then they already have a lot of the movies.
Which kind of brings up Katie's previous point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I definitely think that this is a good opportunity for, young families because it gives them the opportunity to watch movies without having to scroll through like horror movies or like rated R action movies.
Absolutely.
Like
There's like a super level of like accessibility here for the parent and the family because then you have something that you can easily rely on. That's why I think a lot of families love Netflix so much because they turn on the Netflix Kids, put a password as protection. You know that they aren't going to get something that is inappropriate for them. And the same thing could happen here with the Disney.
And how better to
stuff.
raise your kid than just stick them in front of a TV and press play?
You know what?
That's how I was raised.
Hey, it's fine.
So-
Whatever you want to do.
Transferring it on to the next part of this conversation. Now, I think we have each of our own opinions on if we would get it. How much would you be willing to pay for the service per month?
All right. Well, let's get into what I found out today because I had nothing to do at work.
Oh, so you want to go in what we're paying now for the
Because
for
that'll
all
kind
the
of
services?
okay. Well, let's just say this: Netflix and Hulu are both at $11.99. Now, Anthony and I we share HBO Now, which is $15. It's a little bit more, but it's HBO. Figure you're gonna pay a little bit more for that.
We're gonna pay for it for Game of Thrones and then probably scale it back.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta
so,
get the Game
I
of
mean,
Thrones.
okay, but just giving you that information, we don't even have to go into overall how much we pay each month yet. I'm just saying, I'd be willing to pay, if I were to get the Disney streaming service, I'd be willing to pay between $11.99 and $15, because right now the streaming services I'm using, but however, if you use Amazon Prime, which is $99 a year, that's $8.95. Hold on, I have it written down. $8.25 a month.
So
I mean, okay, anywhere, with Disney, depending on if they put the classics on there, anywhere between $10 and $15.
right, I agree totally with that price range for me personally. And I would like to add too, also, I would be a lot more interested in this if they can confirm that they have a lot of their TV show things going on with their other properties as well. There's been a lot of rumor about Star Wars looking into a TV live-action property in the future that a lot of people at the time were thinking would be Netflix. But maybe they put it out as a premium thing, much like CBS All Access is doing for Star Trek, and they do that for their Disney Channel when it launches.
Yeah.
That would be a really interesting, very huge move by Disney's part to get people onto that service.
Yeah, so for both of us, it's like, it really just depends on what they put on, because
Exactly.
depending on which mood I am in and I want to put on a Disney movie, it really depends on the selection that they have.
But I do think, again, to what you were saying, 15 is my,
max.
level. Yeah, max level. What about you, Ransom?
I don't know.
You have a different perspective. So you're a college student. You're going into college.
Yeah.
So your income is not going to be as consistent.
Yeah.
So this is going to be totally different for you.
So for me,
A lot of good points there.
yeah. The only service that I'm currently paying for right now is Spotify. And then I think that's either $7.99 or $8.99.
I don't think it's that bad, yeah.
And you're a music dude.
Oh,
Side
yeah.
knowledge here,
Oh, yeah.
This guy got albums.
Yeah.
That's
Vinyls.
so worth it.
yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I think personally, because I'm a college student, I'm not going to be really watching I'm gonna put on a Disney movie, and if something came out for Star Wars exclusively on there, that'd probably be the only reason why I'd watch it. So for me, I'd probably want it to be about the same that I'm paying for Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
about
Absolutely.
$7.99 or
Yeah.
$8.99.
What about you, Casey? How much?
I
would you
think
pay?
I'd be willing to do something like an Amazon Prime kind of thing.
Yeah, like a $9.99
Like a
or
one-time-
flat out fee.
Yeah, like a flat out fee, annual thing, especially if it were the same price as Amazon
It'd
Prime.
be worth it.
I mean that'd be worth it. Like it's a huge bill one time a year, but monthly $8.25 is not bad at all. But that again, it depends on the variety they have. If they're only going to release movies like they do on Netflix already, not worth it. Not at all. Not at all. But if they're going to put on the VHSs that I have at home, or they're going to put on their Marvel stuff and their Lucasfilm stuff, I mean, that's something I'm considering. And
Which is a huge conflict already, because Netflix is really trying to grab a hold of those.
But
Yeah.
honestly, and I'm a huge Disney fan, I won't pay more for that service than I do for Netflix or Hulu.
Right, and that's the price point range that I was willing to say. If they do something that's over 15, I think that is
Even
way
15 is
overcutting
pushing it, I think.
15's pushing it, but I can understand how maybe they're thinking, well, now you've got access, like Casey was saying, to all of our extended library, one place that you can get everything.
That would be
And-
amazing.
Yeah, and people forget that the movies that came out back in the day, especially their older animated classics, they did this whole vault thing
Yeah.
that only comes out
They're
once or twice every
impossible.
3 or
Yeah.
4 or 5
10
or
years.
decade year.
Yeah.
It's
It's
crazy.
anniversary.
So if they could provide that whole extended back catalog
That'd be
that
so
they
worth
call
it.
the vault, then that would be a huge investment
Yeah.
right there
So
for
worth
sure.
it.
Yeah.
So I think we all agree that it depends on the variety that they're willing
Yes.
to put
Yeah.
on their service.
So
And I-
Disney, don't F this up.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, the only one other thing that I was going to bring up, because I think we brought up how much we were kind of paying for everything a month. I did want to say this, though. What do you guys think about Netflix? Netflix has been such a really reliable service. It's got access to all types of different things. Are you willing to part with the Marvel properties and the Lucasfilm properties to Disney, or would you like Disney and them to work out some type of an arrangement where maybe Netflix can keep on the Marvel properties that it's already got, Defenders and stuff, and then Lucasfilm can keep up, the Clone Wars and the stuff on Netflix too? Would that be the best of both worlds for this
Well,
situation?
for my thing, for Star Wars and for Marvel, I only like a few of the Marvel shows on Netflix, for my own opinion.
Like Netflix original
Yeah,
Marvel.
so if
Yeah,
that stays, that's
Defenders.
fine. Because if it's a Netflix original, obviously it's staying on Netflix. But for Marvel movies, I own all of them already.
That's true.
That's another thing. I'm a huge Marvel fan. When they come out, we buy them. It's just, to add to our collection. And with Star Wars, I'm going to marry the biggest Star Wars fan ever to exist. We have everything on Blu-ray, special edition, extended cut, theatrical, whatever. I have it all. I don't care.
Now, to segue from that, I do want to bring up the one place that I can only access my Clone Wars series adventures is Netflix right now.
I thought that was Amazon.
And no,
Netflix? Okay, my
that's
bad then.
Rebels.
That's
And
Rebels.
you could
My
get
bad.
it on Amazon. Admittedly, you could probably pay the nominal fee to
Bleh.
collect
No
it.
more
And
fees.
if it goes away from Netflix, I'm gonna be willing to drop that price for that series because I think it's phenomenal. But if I could have my ideal best of both worlds, sorry. Lucasfilm, keeps its TV series there, and Marvel keeps its TV series there. You have the movies over at the Disney place, fine. That would be my ideal world. But Ransom, what do
You
you
guys?
think?
I don't know. I think what Disney's trying to do makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
especially
it's a huge
seeing
business move.
especially seeing how Netflix has been operating lately. They've been doing a lot more adult series, you know. So it's Netflix is definitely geared much more towards adults, especially with what they recently have done with making.
Castlevania.
Well, I was gonna say what they recently did, like I think yesterday or 2 days ago, where they signed a contract with the indie
yeah, I know what
indie
you're
comic
talking
book
about.
company that
Starts with
been
an
in
M.
Tim Miller's company.
Yeah,
oh,
like that's
yeah.
done like Kick-Ass and Kingsman.
That is a huge boon for
Kingsman.
Netflix.
That yeah.
Huge
So
boon.
for them, they're gonna start doing a lot of stuff like that. So it's you can definitely see Netflix gearing more towards adult audiences. I think it's 50-50, honestly, for both people staying on Netflix and people wanting the Disney.
Yeah, and admittedly, we can find ways to getting our Star Wars TV shows without Netflix. That's true.
And
Don't say that out loud.
Yeah, you better
No,
pray.
not illegally. I'm paying for it. I pay for all my Star Wars
That's
shit. I'm
true.
not
Oh,
even
yeah.
lying on that.
I was gonna say also, just to add on,
Casey.
Netflix has a lot of original series. The Crown. I'm a big fan of all the comedy specials that Netflix has had come out that are Netflix properties where they hire comedians and they do these 2-hour-long specials. I love them. There are a lot of Netflix original things that people will stay for.
So, Casey, what are you thinking on this?
I'm thinking there's not enough Disney stuff on Netflix right now that I'm interested in, that I watch Netflix to watch Disney.
So, honestly, this parting of the seas is
Not really that
kind of
big of a
not a
deal.
big deal. It's kind of good for you.
I'm excited as long as they have a good variety on this Disney streaming network. But right now, just last weekend, I was looking at the Disney movies on Netflix, and I was so disappointed by my selection.
I admit the one big takeaway for me from the Disney movie selection on Netflix, Hunchback of Notre Dame. Always Hunchback of Notre Dame. That's the only place that I can find that movie. But that's true. If it comes to Disney, it's in the Disney catalog.
I mean, right now, and plus you have more like legit good Disney movies on Hulu than you do on Netflix.
Which I
You've
also
got
pay
Tarzan
for.
on Hulu, you've got Mulan on Hulu, you've
We
got
haven't looked
Pocahontas
into
on
that,
Hulu.
yeah.
Yeah, usually we just watch that.
You've got
on
Notre
Hulu.
Dame on Hulu. Like their classic Disney selection is way broader than Netflix. So at this point, if I can have it at my fingertips, I'm happy.
Well, and the assumption would be then as well, I'm assuming Disney would pull its stuff from Hulu. as
I
well.
would assume, yeah.
Okay. I didn't even think about the Hulu part. Everyone was worried about the Netflix.
Well,
because I
Hulu's
think
more like
Netflix is so
television,
cool.
and then
Yeah.
Netflix is like both.
So popular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would they do the same with Amazon then? Because like from what
Maybe
it sounds
streaming.
Yeah, well, because
But you might be able to still rent it, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
That's the trick.
That's the weird thing is that we've been talking a lot because they have exclusively said that they're pulling things from Netflix, but if they're going to be making this whole like Disney kind of streaming service, then shouldn't they do the same for Hulu and Amazon?
You know what I think?
I don't think it'll matter as much for Amazon.
Well, I was gonna say, you remember when the report came out that Disney and Netflix had signed an agreement saying that Disney would put its stuff on there. That was huge.
Yeah.
And maybe the reason they're announcing it this way with Netflix is because they just made this announcement that they were going to be on Netflix, and now they're not going.
Yeah,
to.
and then they're like, let's backpedal
There
a
was
little
never
bit.
really an announcement with Hulu or Amazon. It was just kind of there.
So then are we kind of overlooking this maybe to
So here's some of my thoughts on this, because I know we're worried about the Amazon now that we're like thinking in that direction. Amazon is so broad and so popular, and its rental rates are good, and it's accessible to everyone. Even if you don't have Prime, you can still rent movies off of Amazon. You just don't get like Prime prices or Prime discounts and things like that. So I think for the accessibility's sake, I think Disney would be a little dumb to remove that option of buying your movies and renting your movies out from Amazon. But for streaming TV shows, for streaming free content and things like that, I think that is going to go all the way over to Disney. I'm just saying for the terms of you buy this a la carte, I don't think that they would put that all behind the Disney version of Netflix, let's say.
I wonder what that then means for the future of on demand for Xfinity if they'd pull their stuff off there too.
That's curious. I mean, we talk about it all the time, but like the internet's been knocking on the door saying cable's going away in like this many years, and I don't think it'll ever go completely away, but I do think it'll be diminished.
I mean, I think all of us are in agreement that probably within the year, none of us on this couch right now are going to have cable.
I don't have cable.
So,
Let me just tell you, I have facts here.
Whoa!
I have math.
Snap.
I did math. So, Anthony and I, together with Netflix, Hulu, and HBO, we pay $38.98 a month for streaming services. Casey and her husband, Justin, pay $83.50 a month. And I looked it up. Xfinity starts their monthly rate at $44.99 for 140 channels with on-demand. That's only for the first 12 months. Let me tell you, as a previous Xfinity customer, when I had my apartment, that rate gets jacked up your asshole after the first 12 months.
well, and that doesn't include any premium channels, any
Exactly.
sports networks.
Nothing. It's
Nothing.
just 140 channels of pretty much bullshit. And DirecTV, they range between $50 and $125. So even if we were to add $12 for the Disney streaming service on top of what we already pay, it's still not going to add up to a cable bill. Why would I have cable for shows that I could watch on Hulu or Netflix? I'm sure on one of the 4 streaming places that I go, I can find Hell's Kitchen. I can even go on YouTube and watch it for free. Hopefully that's not illegal, sorry. And just a heads up, all of us are on Netflix accounts that is paid for by one person and shared by many, which is legal. When you can have 7 people on a Netflix account for $11.99 a month, why am I going to pay $60 for cable?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Just
Yeah.
saying,
So-
that's why cable's going to go away, is because the price is too much.
As another side note, and this is something that I only remember because you brought up ESPN, sports streaming services. This is the interesting thing. So if I read the report
Isn't
correctly,
ESPN Disney owned?
Yep.
so the streaming company that is used as the template for the ESPN streaming services, that whole company is being brought into the Disney envelope. So it's like the assumption is, well then, if you're getting this Disney brand version of it, does that mean you're also getting access to ESPN too? Because if you get access to both, that's a fucking game changer. That is huge.
I highly doubt though that if they do this
Oh, yeah.
this streaming thing, they're going to bring in
I
the
think
sports
it'll
channels.
definitely
If
be
I think it'll be
if anything, they're going to have an entirely separate streaming system just for sports.
But
and
then-
ESPN already has that, so
Yeah.
they probably keep it the same. Just get the revenue
Well,
from it. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
If they're both owned by the same, thing, then what if they made like some kind of like price deal, where if you had both streaming services,
You get a better discount.
Yeah.
Kinda like
That's
cable.
smart. Well, and it would probably be cheaper anyway, because streaming services, you're paying for it. It's just better. There's no commercials. You don't, it's just...
Well, even if there are, it's not 5, 6, 7 minutes of commercials.
Exactly. You get more show than you do commercial, which is the problem with TV at the moment anyway. I don't even watch TV on TV. I'm an avid MTV watcher, and I watch it on my phone.
Yeah, on
That's
the
true.
app. Yeah.
On the app. I don't watch TV anymore.
So, I think in summation, this whole Disney making its own service thing, it kind of sounds like it's at least intriguing enough that depending on the price range, it's something we damn
And-
well be excited to try.
And variety.
Yes.
And variety. So, I think the word is Disney, as long as you keep your content out there, you unlock the vault, and you have all of that readily available for
Yes.
a good $9.99 to $15 fee, hopefully $9.99. We'll buy it.
Or less.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. Let us know what you think of this whole Netflix deal in the comments below as well. Like, share with your
Words.
share with your friends, and get them in the conversation too, because we want to hear from all you guys about this huge game changer for Disney. Thanks again for watching. See you next time.
Bye.